does. Everything she cooks tastes like mud.
As an orphan, you have no right to complain. At least you're being fed, you orphan.
Instead, they saw a sleigh. A troika.
I know this is a made-up fantasy world, but is there any reason to use made-up words if the English version also exists in that same universe?
Then that lucky child will go to a special school, where Grisha learn to use their talents.
So, Hogwarts? I mean, they're not even trying to hide it.
But there was something else. A deeper feeling of unease that I couldn't quite name.
Main character has an unexplainable ominous feeling before something bad happens cliché.
Mal goggled dumbly after her, his mouth slightly open. Close your mouth before something flies in, I snapped.
Is this jealous girl who's been rude to literally everybody she's met so far, including her early friend, really going to be our main character? I'm one chapter in on this book, and already I'm thinking that Mal would make the better protagonist.
I huddled over Mal, shielding his body with mine.
Alright, I know I've given Alina a lot of flack so far, but trying to save your friend while knowing you're going to die is always the making of a true hero, and that, at least, deserves a send-off.
Mal was alive.
Of course he is. I mean, let's be honest. If anybody actually thought that Mal was dead, then this was either their first YA fantasy fiction novel, or they're just kidding themselves. We had to suffer through Alina's internal monologue for 5 pages while she contemplated what we already know, so don't mind me as I pencil in an additional 5 sins.
Alexei might still be alive if you'd gotten off your bony ass to help us.
You have a gun pointed at you in an important meeting full of powerful people. Is this really the time for an outburst?
I shrugged awkwardly out of my coat and let the healer ease my shirt over my shoulders. The Corporalchi were the order of the living and the dead.
The narrator forgot to say "the" before Corporalchi. I know it makes sense either way, but that doesn't mean it's not a sin.
I reminded myself that these men could make my heart explode in my chest. I don't do tricks, you know, I snapped.
That's it. From now on, I'm going to add a sin every time Alina says or does anything dumb that any normal person would never do.
The girl, Ivan asked. Rides with me, said the Darkling.
Why didn't the Darkling just ride with Alina to begin with? Sure, it makes for a more suspenseful story to have him arrive with the cavalry at the nick of time, but suspense should never trump logic in writing, and there's no reason why the Darkling wouldn't have been with them from the get-go.
My skin prickled with embarrassment as I became keenly aware of my torn, too large kefta.
I know Alina's just been through a fight, but how did the kefta tear so easily? Wasn't it supposed to withstand bullet fire?
A precaution against what? I wondered.
I don't know, maybe the spies and assassins that have been dead set on killing you since last week?
I hadn't had a bath in well over a year.
Don't you mean I hadn't had a hot bath in over a year? I mean, seriously, you really aren't doing the book any favours here, Miss Narrator.
The Darkling doesn't care what you look like, just what you do.
What you can do. Did nobody bother to proofread this audiobook before having it published?
Don't worry, said the redhead.
You know her name, Alina. Why are you still calling her redhead?
Every blemish, every scrape, every flaw seemed to disappear beneath her fingers.
An otherwise plain main character undergoes a transformation to become a flawless Cinderella-like beauty cliché.
And I'd never dreamed that I would wear a Grisha kefta.
A Grisha's kefta. Seriously, Audible should be paying me for this.
All this fuss about who sat nearest the Darkling, and he couldn't be bothered to show up?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Alina raises a fair point. The Darkling is an ass to his own subordinates.
The only place I'd ever felt I belonged was with Mal.
Geez, does this girl have to think about Mal several times every chapter?
What am I supposed to do with a girl who can't call her own power? She growled at me.
Well, what did you expect? Alina only found out that she was a Grisha like a week ago. Isn't that why she was sent to train with you?
and added a mocking, "Please."
The narrator says and, but the book says then. A small distinction, but you can't fool my eyes.
Everything in the world could be broken down into the same small parts. What looked like magic was really the Grisha manipulating matter at its most fundamental levels.
Hello? Yes, of course. Oh, don't mind me. That was just the author of Full Metal Alchemist calling to file a lawsuit for stealing her idea.
He is creepy, she admitted, but harmless.
Sure, sneaking up on somebody in the dead of night and rambling about toppling a dynasty qualifies as creepy, and is definitely not the sign of a red flag.
And I'm sick of you.
Funny you should say that, Alina, because I'm sick of you too. I'm more than halfway through this book now, and so far you've done nothing but fail, whine, and complain.
I am in the sitting room at Karimson.
Whoa, why the sudden change in tense?
Botkin was still gruff and critical, and took every opportunity to call me useless, but once in a while.
I thought I glimpsed a hint of approval on his weathered features.
Did they make an intern say the last part of that sentence?
One moment I was staring into his slate-colored eyes, and the next, his lips were pressed to mine.
Then the Twilight fans squealed in delight, and everybody else tore the book into a million pieces and burnt the shreds in a fire.
Because as soon as the door closed, he was kissing me, and I could think of nothing else.
I'm adding another 2 sins for having to sit through 2 pages of this awkward romance.
I didn't think he was in love with me.
Then why did I have to suffer through the last couple of pages?
Mal! When he turned around, I thought I might dissolve from happiness at the sight of his familiar face.
Really? After having spent the last few months ignoring you, happiness should be the last thing on your mind.
And here you are, safe and sound, dancing and flirting like some cosseted little princess.
I mean, it's better than being miserable and tortured, right?
Are you happy here with him?
Generic love triangle cliché.
The Fold was created hundreds of years ago by the Black Heretic. The Darkling. He is the Black Heretic!
Now I'll admit that this is actually a pretty good twist that I didn't see coming. It's just a shame that we had to slog through the majority of the book to get here.
Once the Darkling has used your power to subdue the Volcra, he will be able to enter the Fold safely.
Now this is interesting and all, but why did you wait so long to tell Alina?
You knew what he intended all along. Why tell me now? I asked her. Why tonight? We've run out of time. I never truly believed he'd find Moritzova's herd.
But there was no reason not to tell her. At the very least, if Alina had known about the Darkling's true nature, then she never would have let him seduce her.
They're only searched on their way into the palace, so you should be safe.
Well, isn't that convenient?
All I thought about was my next breath and the growing numbness of my limbs.
Inconsistent narration.
I made my legs move and hurried to catch him.
Double inconsistent narration.
Can we go look, Mal? I asked eagerly.
Sure, because when you have the world's most powerful person after you, the best decision you could possibly make is to stop at a crowded festival to stuff yourself with sweets.
That's really something. Thanks, I said, smiling. Mikhail is dead.
Well, that was a jarring change in tone. Also, after weeks of travelling, why does Mal decide to bring this up now?
I can't, he whispered miserably. I can't.
Hero telling the love interest to kill them, but the love interest won't do it because he loves them cliché.
Quiet now, or I will let Ivan kill him. Slowly.
Oh, damn. Taking a sin off for having the monster in a nonsensical love triangle actually turn out to be a ruthless monster.
Put him in chains.
Why is the Darkling still keeping Mal alive? Alina's already under his control, so it's not like he needs to blackmail her anymore.
But a glance from Mal made me shut up.
Inconsistent narration. But since shut up actually sounds more appropriate to the situation than shut it, I'm giving this sin to the book.
Maybe the Darkling is letting you believe he's still alive just to keep you in line.
But he could just order you to stay in line, right? Wasn't that the whole point of killing the stag? Or did I miss something?
The others on the skiff had failed to come to my aid, but did they deserve to be abandoned to the Volcra?
Couldn't Alina just destroy the Shadowfold now that the Darkling has lost his power over her? That would get rid of the Volcra and save the ambassadors.
But our enemies wouldn't rest, and neither would we.
Inconsistent narration.
It's Ravka's only chance to be free of the Shadowfold.
About that, is there any reason why Alina hasn't destroyed it already? We were told that all that was needed was for her to awaken the power of the stag, and she's done that. A sequel isn't necessary, but we got one anyway. Alright, well this brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, then make sure to like, subscribe and hit that bell icon to stay notified, as I'm hoping to upload new videos every week. Also, for anybody new, this was actually my first time recording a video unfiltered. I'm planning to continue doing things this way, as hearing my edited voice all the time was grating, but let me know what you think down in the comments below. Anyway, that's it from me. Stay safe everyone. This is Heish, signing out.